When simplifying expressions with rational exponents, we need to honor all of our exponent rules. So in A, I have 9 to the 1/2 times 9 to the 3/2. Since my bases are the same, I end up adding my exponents. So I'm going to be adding 1/2 plus 3/2 to give me 9 to the 4/2. 4 over 2 would simplify down to 9 squared, and 9 squared would give me 81. In letter B, I have 16 squared divided by 16 to the 3/2. Since I am dividing, I need to subtract my exponents. So I have a whole number of 2, which is over 1, and I'm going to subtract 3/2 from it. When I take 3/2 away from 2, that's going to leave me with a 1/2. So I'm going to have 16 to the 1/2. 1/2 would indicate a square root of 16, and we know the square root of 16 to be plus or minus 4. In C, I have several exponent rules going on, so we want to use our order of operations. So we want to do our parentheses first. So we have 2n to the 3rd times n to the 3rd. Since the n's are the same base, I'm going to add my exponents. So I'm going to have 2n to the 6th, and all of that still has an exponent of -2. In my denominator, I'm going to leave the 2n to the -1st squared. Now I can deal with my exponents. Since I have exponents on the outside of my parentheses, the -2 in the numerator will distribute to the +2 and the n to the 6th. So I'm going to have 2 to the -2nd and n to the 6th times -2. When I have an exponent to an exponent, I multiply. So my n is going to have an exponent of -12. In the denominator, I'm going to do the same thing. My +2 exponent will go to the 2, as well as the n to the -1. So I'm going to have 2 squared in n to the -2nd. With negative exponents, they need to change their location. So the 2 to the -2nd is going to have to go down to the denominator, as well as the n to the -12. In my denominator, my n to the -2nd is going to have to go up. So I'm going to have an n squared in my numerator. Once the variable or value has changed location, the exponent is now positive. I'm going to have the 2 squared that was already there. I'm going to add the 2 squared that we moved down along with the n to the 12th. We know 2 squared to be 4, so I have n squared over 4 times 4, n to the 12th. We know 4 times 4 to be 16. And the last thing we need to do is simplify our n's. I have 2 n's in my numerator, and I have 12 n's in my denominator. That means I can cancel out 2 n's, and it's going to leave me with 10 in the denominator. So that's going to wipe out my numerator. So my numerator is now 1, and I have 16 n to the 10th in my denominator for my final answer.